Hi, everyone. Oh, wow. You guys are fast. Hello. So strange to be home. So strange to be doing a live from home. I feel like I'm so used to the backdrop of a random hotel room that I am feeling weird to be doing this at home. But alas, I'm back in New York. Hi, TJ. Good to see you too. Hi, Praxis. This hotel room looks worse than your last. Thank you, James. You are funny, or rather, you think you're funny. Mama sighting. Mama sighting in YouTube. Hi, Odin. Hi, Scott. Good to see you guys. Is Cindy happy to be home? Oh, yes. Cindy is currently snoozing on top of a pile of my clothes because we have come back home and I have a pile of my clothes back where it belongs on the daybed. So, my incredible moderators and my incredible 18-year-old adopted little brother / child have gotten me this as a present for my birthday, for which I would like to wholeheartedly thank them very publicly, because you people are crazy and very amazing. And what in the world? But thank you very much. They do sound really great. I will be using them a lot. Mama Tutak Scott. And yeah, these are Apple AirPods Pro Max. They're really cool. And yeah, Vasil said that it was the only color available, but it is a very nice color. I do agree. They look really cool. Oh my gosh. Yes, I get it, AirPods. Oh my god. I took them out of the box and they decided to connect. They do. 22nd birthday, you're awesome. Thank you. I am 28 though. Thank you, TJ. But yeah, so the second that I took them out of their case, they decided to connect and let me know that they are connecting. Yes, my phone tried to connect. The second that I took them out of the case, I don't know how they work yet, so yes. So thank you guys. You are too much in the best way possible, and I am very lucky to have you. You are insane. Thank you very much. I say that with the best intentions on the planet, but yeah, so we're back home. I now am taking. Oh my gosh, I'm now taking dustlets off the AirPods because, goddamn, and they fit my mic. They're the same color as my mic, and they're the same color as my phone. So, you know. Um, there was something else that I wanted to mention. Oh my gosh, guys, I have news. I don't know how I did not start with that. Oh my gosh. Guys, I walked into my apartment and I received I'm sorry, I'm going to curse really loud here, but I received a motherfucking email from USCIS, and your girl will be able to work without contractual restrictions in about a week or two when my work permit makes it here into my mailbox because it got approved. It's been 9 months. It's been 9 months since the last update I had on my freaking paperwork. So I can now have anything really. No, that's not a higher level of a green card. It's basically while I'm waiting for my green card, without that work permit, I was restricted to only contractual work under 1099. But now I'm not restricted to contractual work under 1099. I can now have a W-2. So I swear, when I received that email and I saw that update, I screamed so loud that my mom ran out in panic out of my room and was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry. It was a good update. I'm so sorry." I was like, I was going crazy. I Now, the funniest bit of all of this, I called John, who was at work still, so he couldn't pick up, and he was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Husband, the work permit got approved." And he was like, "Oh, that's awesome news. Are we still gonna have to do the interview though?" And I'm like, "Yes." What do you freaking mean? He was like, "Oh, god damn it. Well, that's great. I'm so happy you don't have restrictions." And I'm like, my god, this is the most husband response I have ever received in my entire life. But you know, it is what it is. He is very happy. He's also very tired and he's very on tour. But Ah. Heroyam Slava. But yeah, so hi awesome boy 789. So yeah, I have never been. He's a dude. Yes, he is the most dude out of all dudes that I have ever encountered in my life. But you know, that's what we love him for, right? That's exactly what we love him for, right? But yeah, yes, I can be. I can be, and oh, thank you so much, radio. But yeah, so you guys have no idea how much of a step this is, because that also indicates, since I have filed concurrently for both the work permit and the travel permit, that my travel permit should be authorized sometime very soon as well. Fingers crossed, because normally these two things happen very close to each other if you file concurrently. So, hi Lauren. So, Ukraine trip? Ukraine trip? Ukraine trip? I really, really, really hope so. Grumpy, I got an update from United States Immigration Services that one part of the immigration process was approved. And yeah, I literally was under crazy tight restrictions, and I was under crazy tight restrictions. And hi, Peter. And I now am under less tight restrictions. So I should hopefully hear back about my travel permit soon. I honestly, I don't even know what to say, because I am so incredibly happy. It's like, it feels honestly unbelievable, because for so long I have been staring at this application and nothing was changing, because they don't give you any updates. They give you like oh, your application has been received and we're reviewing it. And then after that, you don't get anything until they tell you that your card is being produced. So today I saw like a notification and I was like, wait, that looks weird. And I opened the email thinking that like maybe it's one of those like random freaking things that they send from time to time that's like, oh, like I don't know, did you know that as a applicant you can call this number and find out more information, which you can't, because when you call that number, it's impossible, literally impossible, to surpass the automated machine that does not know anything. And there, like, you have to research Reddit for convoluted techniques of how to of how to trick that machine into sending you to a representative. And then there are like 5 levels of representatives, and you will be sent to the lowest tier one that literally doesn't know anything and echoes the same thing that you have on the website. And you have to like convince them to send you to their superior. Like it is the most ridiculous thing that like it's so ridiculous. But so anyways, I thought it was one of those emails, and then I opened the email and I'm like, it's like one of those slow motion moments. No, pressing 0 doesn't work. It says, "Oh, you're confused," or something like that, or I'm sorry, you weren't able to help you. Bye-bye. And then it disconnects. That's what it does. Yeah, they're fantastic. But so anyways, I like looked at the email and I was like, part of me was like, "Oh, it's going to be some whatever." And then I'm like, it's like slow-mo. I'm looking at the thing and it says your card was produced and it's on the way. And I'm like, what? Yeah, usually pressing 0 constantly sends you to a real person, but not in the USCIS case. No. They tell you, "Oh, we're sorry, we don't have that command. Bye-bye." Yes, hi Adriana. Yes, best birthday present ever. So my mom was so excited. Oh my gosh, she opened a bottle of wine. No, not a green card. It's a work permit card, which basically takes off the restrictions off of my work permission. So anyways, it's a very long, convoluted story. US immigration system is very difficult, and I absolutely I have a lot to say about it. But also gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, but also that indicates that I should be hopefully soon getting my travel permit, because these things usually I filed concurrently, so they should be within a little bit. No, but it's not. My mom did not open a bottle of wine because Grumpy says wait till the process is over, lol. And it's like, no, that's not the point. The point is that it's been 3 years and this is the first actual major update that had happened in this immigration case. So yeah. And yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. Anyways, I am incredibly excited and I am incredibly happy. I apologize for my terrible singing, but I am overwhelmed with emotions. Anyways, so yeah, that was that. Also, big boom in Crimea, incredibly big boom in Crimea, but also a lot of contradicting statements from Ukrainian officials. So some of the Crimean officials that are Ukrainian had said that the soldier from Zmyny Island did not only tell Russian warship to go F itself, but also the airbase. And they said, we are admitting that this had happened. And then Podolyak, which is the head of the presidential advisement office, came out and said that Kyiv had nothing to do with that airstrike. So confusing. But also, I've been getting intel information. Hi, Notabotter. Yeah, also tons of contradictions from between the Russian propagandists, but also from inside info that I've been hearing. There has been some information that Ukrainians in Crimea who know people in SBU, which is like the Homeland Security of Ukraine, SBU, were saying that if you're Ukrainian, you need to find your Ukrainian passport, you need to find your Ukrainian birth certificate, and you need to evacuate to the territory of Ukraine because big booms are about to happen all over the Crimean enemy bases, and because Ukrainians are getting ready to storm Crimea. Now, I think that maybe the head of the presidential office is denying the allegations, because from what I've heard from inside info is that Ukraine is prepping to launch a gigantic counteroffensive on Crimea because we have gotten some pretty serious weapons. But again, that is just a rumor right now. I'm not, I don't have any confirmations, and likely we're not going to get any confirmations of such rumors until they either happen or not happen. Because if this is like a tactic and Ukraine is actually trying to launch a gigantic counteroffensive on Crimea, then, or rather like bringing Crimea back home operation, then we are not going to hear anything about it until it happens, because it makes sense. It should be top secret. Hi, Natlin. I think they might try to retake Crimea before they take Kherson, and I will tell you what my reasoning for it is. I think that the reason they would do that is because retaking Crimea basically will mean that Russians can bring any more ammo into Ukraine through that direction, and that would mean that they could easier free Mariupol, Kherson, Zaporizhia, and that entire stretch. So I think that actually that could be a very, 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 very good strategy, to be honest. Bavovna in the action. Yeah, chlapok. Chlapok. Where did I... Interesting. My channel has very little news today, which is kind of good and kind of interesting. I have 77 updates. Also, let me try out the headphones. Maybe I can put them on, and we can test out the microphone in them. Maybe I don't have to use the little lavalier microphone anymore. Well, to be fair, I just want to look cool and wear headphones, because that's what like cool people do with their podcasts. The anti-radar missiles can be mounted on jets. Yeah, so the missiles that I have been that I was told are coming to Ukraine are the precision GPS guided missiles that basically emulate an airstrike. And those things are really, really serious, and Russians would have zero ability to counter them with anything. Grumpy, how would they get there? They don't have any ships. What are you talking about? Okay. Can we hear me? How could Ukraine get to Crimea? The precision missiles. That's the thing. That the precision missiles are supposed to be the precision missiles are supposed to be what will let Ukraine take over Crimea. A lot of Russian generals, a lot of Russian army and their families, like high up there, are rumored to have been ordered to leave Kherson and to have been ordered to leave some parts of Crimea. So that's just a rumor. But, well, yeah, but with missiles, here's the thing. Yes, you can't capture Crimea. Yes, I saw. So, okay, Poli-Sci History Guy says, did you see that African and Southeastern countries canceled their orders of Russian S-300s? Yes, I saw that, which is great news. Then, but so, Grumpy, the thing is, in order to make the work in recapturing that entire area easier, is we would need to basically what James said, like take out the bases and the bridge, and that does the bulk of the work, because if you take out the bridge, they can't bring ammo anymore and they can bring backup. If you take out, we have anti-ship missiles, and we're getting those missiles that will be able to strike the bridge and Crimean waters. So if we take out air bases and we take out ammo bases, they have nothing there. It's just bare military. So if we stop the weapons coming from Crimea, well, sure, but that's the beginning of the counteroffensive of Crimea. As in, like, I'm not saying that they're gonna walk into Crimea before they're gonna walk into Kherson, or they're gonna walk into Mariupol. But the thing is that by doing all of that bulk of the work for Crimea, that's basically returning Crimea back, and that's basically a counteroffensive onto Crimea, because through there it'll be a domino effect. That's what I meant. So yeah, Russians are kind of very screwed. Russia wanted Turkey to build Bayraktar, but saw where they were gonna build one in Ukraine. Yeah, Russia has been trying to get Turkey to send them Bayraktars too, which is kind of hilarious, because, like, no, it's not gonna happen, buddies. That is not gonna happen at all, because well, Bayraktars are well, actually, here's the thing. So I was going to say that Turkey wouldn't do that, but to be honest, I'm very not disappointed with Turkey, but here is like the catch with Turkey. Turkey is playing a medium, like a moderator sort of in between everybody, and they're kind of like, oh, well, someone needs to be in a good relationship with Russia in order for all of us to be able to negotiate with them, and in order for all of us to be able to, like, talk some sense into them, right? But they basically used that position to get close to Russia, and now they're borderline using the war, profiteering off the war, and making a ton of money off of Russia, and building a very strong relationship with Russia. Which is literally what they've been doing. They've been housing Russian tourists. They've been letting Russian tourists come to Turkey. They've been adopting. Now they've been adopting. They now said that they're going to adopt Russian Mir cards, because Visa and MasterCard, Russians can't use that. So there is, like, a lot of really shady stuff that Turkey is doing. Turkey is basically trying to have their cake and eat it too. They're trying to look good in the eyes of the European Union, and they're trying to look good in the eyes of NATO, but they're also trying to make as much profit off of Russia as possible, and they're trying to stay on Russian good side in case Russia ever comes back, because then they will remember that Turkey was decent to them. This is my hot take on that. Well, it's kind of like an analysis of facts, basically. Like, the fact is that Turkey is letting Russians in, no problem. The fact is that Turkey is facilitating more Russian tourism, because now it's hard for Russians to get basically anywhere else. The fact is that Turkey is allowing Mir cards. The fact is that Turkey is building a strong relationship with Russia. So these are all facts. And my analysis is just that Turkey is playing two fronts, basically, and trying to be very smart about it. I don't know how smart they are about it, but they're trying for sure. Russia still has resources, of course, but as in, like, Turkey is trying to kill two birds with one stone. So, Estonian Foreign Minister Urmas Reinsalu urged Russia to stop the shelling of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant and leave immediately. Actually, wait, you know what? Before we get into the news, provided that we don't have that many updates today, and most of us know the most important stuff for the day, which is the big boom in Crimea, as I titled my live. Also, just FYI, hi Dave, just saw you, sorry. Uh, but also, the fundraiser is still going on. And if you would like to donate to it on YouTube and Twitch, you obviously can see the link right here. On TikTok, you can go to my link in bio. You can choose to do Venmo or PayPal. And yeah. I will tell you at the end of the live again what amount we're on, but I want to say that we're at about 4,700 something dollars out of 10,000. That would be perfect to buy 3 night vision devices. I'm always like night vision systems. So yeah. Business is going to be booming in Crimea. Yeah, that's fun. That's a very funky play on words. But so what I was going to say is, first of all, we're going to be back to a better schedule starting on the 14th when my mom goes back home, unfortunately. But on the 14th, we're going to go back to 2 p.m. lives daily, 2 p.m. Eastern daily lives during the week. And then noon lives on the weekend. Noon because I don't want to intercept Arvosis. He has been having his 2 p.m. slot for a while now. So we're gonna do lives earlier, so more Europeans can make it, more Ukrainians can make it, more of you guys. Can you link the product? You mean like the night vision goggles? Can I link the night vision goggles? Yes, I can. I have not previously linked them, but I can send it either in the mod chat or I can link it to, you mean like link it to the fundraiser directly or link it where? I can link it anywhere, but let me know where. And please allow me until tomorrow to do so because my dad is the one who had found the product. That's the product that he had purchased for the armed forces previously. That's the product that the armed forces said they would need. I'll do it tomorrow because I need to go through a plethora of messages with my dad to find the specific product. But yeah, I'm happy to link it if you guys are curious. I can also link it. I can link it under the YouTube video, to be fair. So if anybody, an individual unit is about 3,500 euros. I did. I love them. Thank you. Thank you, Shan. My lovely moderators and Vasil all together got me the birthday present. But the moderators, if you can remind me tomorrow to please remind me tomorrow to link the unit that we are looking at buying on yeah, then we have benefit thanks to current conversion costs. Yes. Thank you, Squirrel, because you guys know that I am so incredibly freaking horrible at remembering anything in this life. You know, it's really funny because I can remember details from movies, I can remember details from books, I can remember details from history. For the life of me, I could be like, oh, I need to go check my mailbox. I will go get my keys, put them in my pocket, and then I will never check the mailbox because I will never remember that I needed to check the mailbox. I don't know how I survive on this planet, to be honest, but I do have pretty severe ADHD. For instance, when I'm cleaning my house and I go to the bathroom to, like, I don't know, do something very specific, I start doing it. And then I'm like, oh, I need to go get a cleaning solution from the kitchen to finish this, right? I'll go into the kitchen and I'll see that something else is dirty and I'll start cleaning that. And I will forget that I was cleaning something in the bathroom and why I came to the kitchen in the first place. I'm already busy doing something else. So that's kind of like my life. And therefore, I'm also incredibly grateful to my moderators for reminding me things to do that they hear me say on live. Sometimes Squirrel literally reminds me of stuff that he just heard me mention on the live because he's like, hey, did you do that? At some point, literally some of you, Juju, have DM'd me before and said, hey, did you remember to call your husband? You mentioned that you have been forgetting to do that for a couple of days in your life, and I was laughing so hard because I'm like, yeah, I should do that. So that was really funny because I'm like, damn it. Damn it. But yeah, that's me. So if you guys ask me to link something, or if you guys ask me to do something and I forget or something like that, please feel free. Hi, Pamela. Thank you for your donation. I saw the donation earlier. Thank you so much. But so yes, just to finish the sentence before I forget what I was saying, basically, if you ever ask me to do something and I say I will do it and then I forget to do it, please don't hesitate to like DM me and remind me and stuff like that. Or if I was talking to you and I didn't answer you or something like that, don't think that I am not going to answer you. Or if, I don't know, like in general, don't hesitate to nudge me because basically I can be reading a message from someone and then something distracts me. And I will literally forget that I was reading a message. And then because it's an open message, I've exited out of the app or whatever, I will literally never remember to get back to it because now it's been opened. And I don't have like a, I very often unread messages and stuff like that because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say to this right now. I need to get back to this later. So yeah, I don't even know how we got here, to be honest. But yes, I will link the, hi, Jeremy. I will link the, I will link the night vision devices tomorrow. Now that Squirrel has a note, I have absolutely no I have no doubt that I will do that at an appropriate timing. Also, now that you're in the mod chat, you feel free to add me and just be like, hello, you need to do this. Привіт, дуже дякую. В мене вже темна нічка, але дякую. Вам хорошого дня. But yeah. So yeah. So yes, basically that. Adriana says I do the same thing. That's hilarious. Yeah, I feel like, ADHD is a very fun thing to have, especially when you refuse to get medicated for it, because I don't believe in Adderall or Ritalin, as I don't want to take any speed. I don't like ADHD. Like, I'm already on enough medication for other things that I really don't want to add to it. And also, I just consider ADHD meds to be speed, not meds. So no. And to be fair, my anti-anxiety medication has been helping quite a bit in terms of, because Zoloft is designed to technically work for anxiety and depression, but also is very good for OCD and ADHD, and I have both. And it has been definitely helping. Like, I've seen a major improvement, as in, like, I can catch myself on going on tangents and I can, like, steer myself in a different direction. My memory is better, but still not perfect. And hi, Juju. Supplements help. What kind of supplements? That's cool. Well, I mean, I've just been doing like exercises to train myself, basically. Didn't you ever do a series of famous Ukrainian Americans? I did not do a whole series yet. I did do some individual posts, but I do like, the way that I do series is I randomly put them out when I find something interesting. So rather, like, here's the thing, on days that are slow, that don't have any like breaking news, that's what I'll be doing. I will be doing series of interesting Ukrainians and Lviv dialect. But on days when there are a lot of news, it's it's much more, I think, pertinent to talk about the breaking news. So that's how we're going to do it, because I am not very good at sequenced things. So series, as in, like, I am planning more sessions with my. So Grumpy is asking, L-theanine helps with ADHD. Oh, I'll look into it. So Grumpy is asking, Yulia, are you planning any more sessions with your historian friend? Yes, I am planning a lot more sessions with my historian friend. The reason why they have been not happening, basically, is because, well, at first she was ill. Then something, I already forgot what happened, but something happened. Oh, she was ill, Vasil. Then my mom basically decided she's coming 5 days after she like got the visa. So that was very short notice, and I was with my mom. And these require prep and like quite a lot of thinking and quite a lot of like organizing. So I would say that most likely I'll try to resume the Saturday lives with the historian, probably not this coming weekend, but the next weekend. So that's what I'll try to do. Ola is incredible, and Ola might be doing the translation. That's up to Ola. I mean, I would love for her to do the translation as well, as I think she's great. I don't know yet. I think that the way we're gonna do these lives now. Thank you so much. Uh, when we are going to do the historian lives now, what we're most likely going to do is we're going to break them down in 4 parts, as in, like, we're going to do, instead of doing like the 1 hour and then a 30-minute Q&A, we're going to do probably 15 minutes, 5-minute Q&A, or like 10-minute Q&A, 15 minutes, 10-minute Q&A. So like, or like 15 minutes, 5-minute Q&A or something like that. So we can actually ask questions as we go, and we can elaborate more on like specific topics rather than just like at the end of the live. So I feel like that will be a more kind of like fluid ongoing conversation rather than a lecture, and then you guys have no questions, and I feel like you have no questions because there's so much information that you feel like everything has been answered, but then you actually come up with questions later. So I feel like it's much more productive if we do questions in the middle of doing talking about events. And also, like, that way you can ask like faster questions instead of being like, oh, do I have to think of these, like, these like big questions, right? Not something small. I think that, like, I would like to have those lives be more of a conversation rather than a lecture, right? Still, as in, like, still the same amount of information, still like the same format in terms of like teaching and in terms of like knowledge, but just a little bit more of a different format in terms of like how the conversation flows, if that makes sense. And yeah, Ola did an amazing job. Also, let's face it, Ola has a very, very nice English accent, and it's really, really nice to listen to her. She just sounds so royal. Everything, when said by Ola, sounds like 100 times better. Doesn't it? I feel like listening about history from someone with a very noble English accent just sounds like. So I feel like, yeah, Ola definitely not only does a great job, but also very, 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 very pleasant on our ears. That's what I was saying. Ola should definitely do audiobook narration, Carlos. Ola's fan club. Where is Ola? Every time I mention a creator, they just magically appear. So it's like, Ola, we're summoning you. Where are you? I hope Ola gets to hear all of the compliments that we have paid her, because she indeed is freaking awesome, amazing, and fascinating. And I hope that she does. I hope that she does the translation if she. I hope that she does the translation next time as well, because she is really great. And yeah, she did a fantastic job, and we all love Ola. A posh accent always sounds smarter. That's how the UK wound up with Boris Johnson. Oh, wow. Slam. Slam dunk. Her voice is literally smooth and fascinating. Yes. Oh my gosh. Uh, oh my god. I just thought about a meme of Ola standing there all dressed up and like beautiful like she is, and it says smooth and fascinating, but we would have to have Ola's approval of that meme, and I feel like that's a little much. But yeah, and also like no one's really gonna get it except for us. So yeah. Okay, guys, let's let's get into oh no, wait, another topic I wanted to cover before we get into the news, but I dedicate 5 minutes to it, and that is Donald Trump and the freaking FBI raid on his Mar-a-Lago residence. I've been hearing lots of Republicans, an enormous amount of Republicans, talking about the fact of, okay, so I'm going to actually read you this, which this comes from a pretty hotshot. Oh, one sec. This is something that, like, really, I want to say angered me quite a bit, to be honest. But this is something that a pretty hotshot New York lawyer posted on their stories. I sent it to. I shared this earlier, not publicly, well, because he follows me, I follow him, but I want to read you his analysis of what happened. And honestly, I'm so tired of these, incredibly privileged white American men who are lawyers using Harvard speak to somehow go and justify Donald Trump not getting away with a freaking crime for once. Because, I'm a little tired, so sometimes I don't make sense. Let me paraphrase. I'm very tired of very waspy, very privileged dudes with incredibly high-paying jobs who have grown up in privilege, and who have grown up with connections, and who have grown up with money where money talks. And I'm tired of them using Harvard speak to try and mask what happened yesterday as something that is against the law, brutal, and a political game, just because they're not happy that someone like them was not able, for the first time in, I don't know, recorded history, get away with a crime. So I introduce to you a 1% rant about what happened to Trump. Setting Trump's politics aside, yeah, first of all, he called it Trump's politics when we were talking about a literal former president who was trying to steal an election, cause an insurrection. Well, he did cause it, it just failed. And simultaneously stole a bunch of classified documents from the White House and did not return them after he was impeached twice and after his presidency was over. So, setting Trump's politics aside, if you're actually celebrating yesterday's events, instead of acknowledging it as one of the darkest chapters of American history, I truly am at a loss of words for how blind and dangerous your partisanship is. Sometimes I'm just dumbfounded at the type of standards some of y'all want to set. It's as if you believe political winds don't swing. It's as if you believe those on top today won't just as soon be subjects of their opponents in power tomorrow. Take a breather and really think about whether a political opponent administrations criminalizing their predecessors is something Americans should desire. So, right off, I want to comment on this. This is not a political game, and it is not the Biden administration criminalizing anybody. First of all, the president has no power over who the FBI chief, appointed by Trump, decides to do that to, because the president can't tell them, oh, investigate this, investigate that. If they have enough evidence, they do that themselves. First of all. Second of all, criminalizing their opponents and predecessors. This is not criminalizing their predecessor. This is a person. This is a person who was a United States president who attempted a fucking violent coup. I'm sorry, no amount of Harvard speak and white privilege is gonna make your words make more sense. Hi, Christina. Take a breather and really think about whether a political opponent administrations criminalizing their predecessors is something Americans should desire. First of all, it's a hotshot lawyer in New York, and they know that this is not how it works. Yet they're using the fact that they're a lawyer and they're supposed to know to put that in your head. It's one thing to bring charges against a corrupt public official. It's quite another to bring politically motivated charges against an opponent you are sure will outperform you at the voting booth. Can we take a moment here? It's quite another to bring politically motivated charges against an opponent you are sure will outperform you at the voting booth. We do realize that Biden is most likely not even going to run in 2024, right? We also do realize that this is not how the FBI works. It's not Biden who brought these charges against Trump. It's the What? The former is the healthy functioning of a criminal justice system. The latter is the depraved conduct of third world countries and the last vestiges of their complete chaos and demise. In this sense, we're pretty much on brand at our culture stage. Of course, it's important to understand the difference, and we should, of course, be wary of creating a country where all former presidents are scot-free in their conduct. That will be a liberty and justice for some scheme that is antithetical to the proper application of law and property and properly recognized equal rights from the prince to the pauper. Thank you. But the actions, plural, brought against Trump are so obviously political witch hunts. Where have we heard that term before, ladies and gentlemen? That it's difficult to muster the energy to discuss the same with folks who delusionally convince themselves otherwise. I'm sorry. I saw the AOC comment. Okay. I've done my rant. It's fine. And as far as folks suggesting, wow, do we really want intentional money launderers and attempted coup throwers to not get raided? These things are taken completely cart before the horse and out of context. First, they skip over a long line of past and current presidents that committed full-on documented crimes, Obama's drone warfare, to name just one from recent memory, and the just about the entire lifeline of the extended Biden family. Setting aside whether they too should have been prosecuted misses the point, which is that folks' attention conveniently sidesteps around their chosen elected, hence the never-ending conundrum of criminalizing predecessors. And second, folks are underplaying the level of outrageous partisanships brought in the present charges in the first instance. The man was literally trying to cause a freaking insurrection. What partisanship are you freaking talking about? Just because we've never prosecuted previous presidents doesn't mean that that should be a fucking precedent. That's the whole thing. I'm sorry, but yes, no, we should not let former presidents get away with shit just because they're former presidents. We should not let people run for the office from jail. What are you talking about? That is ridiculous. He literally ordered a murder of his vice president because the vice president turned on him politically. What in the hell? What do you mean partisanship? Yeah, America has never freaking seen a raid on a former president. But probably we should have if they've committed what Trump has. He stole classified information. He attempted a coup. He incited an insurrection. What in the fuck? This raid is one of the most replete and saturated political agenda in our country's history. Way to show that you're a Republican who likes Trump. Designed to do nothing more than cut the knees of the Democrats' most formidable 24 opponent. This man just seriously called Trump. Oh. Well, Mikey B, that just earned you a very lovely block from this channel because you are not going to tell me what to stay on. Adios, amigo. They've spent the preceding 6 years, even the last 2 while they had power, fighting a man who was literally banned off Twitter and unable to communicate with his followers. Do you think that I'm sorry. You have a law degree, don't you? You graduated law school, right? You have a degree. And you are saying that without Twitter, Trump cannot communicate with his followers? You're not Gen Z, are you? You do have a law degree. That means that you must have graduated quite a few years of schooling. You cannot be Gen Z, right? Like you have to be at least about my age, right? You look like you are. And you say that without Twitter, Trump can't communicate his agenda to his supporters? Okay. And you called Trump the most formidable opponent for the Democrats for 2024? I'm sorry. Do they give out law degrees to everybody who raises their hand these days? Because I'd like one. Anyways, now this section is titled "The DMs I Got." This person responds to this story saying, "Could you imagine the absolute meltdown if Trump's FBI raided the Clintons' mansion? CNN would spontaneously combust." He responds, "It's certainly near impossible to compare the two, but this absolutely bears thought. The Biden and Clinton families have more documented dirt under their fingernails than a cowhand, yet they've never been so much as looked at by a Justice Department." The department that killed Hillary's campaign. Not that I'm pro Hillary, but they did. They Also, Hillary was not a president. Hillary did not try to cause an insurrection. Hillary was not trying to stage a violent coup. Folks, to say the FBI raiding former president's home on tenuous grounds of incitement or election disputing is redlined insanity is absolutely unpartisan. Honey, the FBI does not raid your home if they do not have a mountain of evidence. My brain cells are dying reading this, but I'm going to volunteer to continue. I want to say you'll get what you ask for, but by that time I'll be a completely anon, permanent resident of northern Spain, sending you articles about how to catch a life raft from the easternmost tip of Montauk. Spain, if you would like to claim this incredibly special individual, raise your hand. I hope that he enjoys his. This sounds like a freaking meltdown of a toddler who's upset that Trumpy Trump, for the first time in his life, with his white and 1% privilege, could not buy off or connections off through bureaucracy and corruption get his way and get away with the crimes that he has done. Oh my gosh. And also, how can we, and also I'm going to end this with this lovely tweet from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Defund the FBI. So let me get this straight. When the police was violently, brutally beating up protesters at the BLM marches, defunding the police was a horrible idea. How dare we ask? But when the FBI raids a home of the initiator of a violent government coup and an insurrection, we gotta defund the FBI because they're doing a bad thing. See, I can't even talk about this with a straight face. Also, Praxis is asking, wait, isn't Spain under a fairly left-wing government at the moment too? I don't think this man knows. This man does not know Spanish politics. This man does not know what it's like to live in Spain. All he thinks about is like, I'm going to take my lawyer's salary and I'm going to buy a house in Spain. And I'm going to sit there with my siesta, drinking my whatever it is that he was saying he was going to be drinking. And I'm going to be looking down on you because it's cool to say that. It's cool to move to Spain. I know this word Marbella, Spain, right? To be honest, that's about the knowledge of Spain this man has. Anyways. Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, I mean, defund Marjorie Taylor Greene. Holy shit. Like, come on. Can we new thing, reprogram Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay. Explosions are heard in the occupied Melitopol. HIMARS night is declared open. All information requires confirmation from officials. Yeah, he just wanna drink sangria. That is very true, Veronica. Hi, Veronica. Good to see you there. Um, Sweden joins British training program for Ukrainian military. Sweden will send up to 120 instructors to the UK to conduct basic training for Ukrainian servicemen. Swedish Defense Minister Peter Goldquist has said the initiative of basic military training for Ukrainian citizens belongs to the UK, which has invited other countries to contribute. Oh, hi, 8 Life. Good to see you. I feel like I've responded to something you said, but I completely didn't even like, I was so in my own thing. Okay, it's either Russian land or scorched desert. Russian terrorists are already stating directly that they are ready to honorably execute the harshest order, if there is one, and are prepared for the consequences. They openly say that they have mined the entire Zaporizhia NPP. Andriy Yusov, spokesman for the press service of the Defense Ministry of GUR, said that there is confirmed information about Russian troops booby-trapping power units at the nuclear plant in Enerhodar. They're idiots. Do they not understand that that's going to affect them too? Not just Ukrainians, not just the West. It is literally going to affect Russia about as much as it's going to affect Ukraine if something happens on Zaporizhia NPP. Like, do they not get that? Did they not learn physics, chem enough to know that? No? Basics? No? Okay. To each their own. Ukrainian defenders repelled enemy attacks in 4 directions near Verkhnekamensk, Bakhmut, Pisky, and Mariinka. Morning report of the General Staff. Heroyam Slava. Hi, Agnion. Uneducated bricks. They are kind of uneducated bricks, honestly. Like it's hard to. I literally do not understand how someone can be this limited by choice. Like, honestly. Overnight, HIMARS hit points of invaders in Melitopol. 100 killed. Melitopol Mayor Ivan Fedorev. Tonight, high-precision HIMARS missiles struck the occupying forces' temporary deployment points at industrial sites in different areas of the city of Melitopol. Video, but was your grandfather Italian? Okay, you're asking because of my grandfather. Okay, so Austin Powers here on TikTok is asking, Yulia, I'm sorry, different topic because of a recent video, but was your grandfather Italian? I know what you're talking about. My grandfather is performing tricks on hoops, and he has an Italy shirt on. So my grandfather was in a movie. It's called The Silver Trainer. He is a supporting actor, and he was playing an Italian athlete. So he was playing an Italian athlete for the Italian team because my grandfather always had a fairly tan skin and lots of very dark curly hair. So to Soviet Union, that was like, aha, you will be our Italian athlete. And my grandfather was a professional gymnast, so they cast him in that movie. That's basically it. That's the story. But he is, and he is not Italian. He is, as it turns out, 50% Balkan and 48% Baltic, which is interesting because he was born near Moscow, and we thought that he is Russian. Now, my grandmother was born in Siberia, and we thought she was Ashkenazi Jewish and Russian, but turns out she is about 39% Ashkenazi Jewish and about 11% Baltic, and the rest is Eastern European, closer to Ukraine, which is incredibly interesting. Regionally, most of it is from Ukraine. So some from Poland, some from like other places, but nothing from Russia, which is quite crazy because we're like, yay, wait a freaking second, to all of those trolls, this is a petty thing that I'm gonna do right now, but to all of those trolls in early April and in May who were telling me, stop denying it, your grandparents are from Russia, so you're Russian. I'm like, well, so I did a DNA test in 23andMe, and it does not tell you exactly which regions you're from. It just tells you all the regions you could be from. So mine said that I could be from, like, these regions of Russia. I could be from these regions of Ukraine. I could be from these regions of of Poland. Basically, the only people in my family who could have been Russian, turns out they have nothing Russian in them. So you know that? You know what? F you, Russian trolls. Ain't Russian at all. Turns out I'm just a good old Baltic, Balkan, Ashkenazi, and Ukrainian mix. Well, now I just got to do my dad's DNA and my grandma's on my dad's side DNA. I can't do my grandpa's on my dad's side DNA because he has no longer been with us since 5th grade for me. But yeah, no Russia here. Yep. DNA record said no Russia detected. I just did a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% not that bitch. Anyways. Yep. 404 Russia not found. Yep. Literally. My mom was like, European countries' DNA. No, what matters, I know, but it's like, I mean, it's the petty in me, it's the principle in me. It's like, haha. No Russia here. I just did a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% not that bitch. So I'll do it again just because I'm so happy. But yes, so basically, I just did a DNA test and turns out 404, no Russia detected in my genealogy. So woohoo! 2 great news today, USCIS news and no Russia detected. Also, my mom cannot stop telling everyone that there is no Russian blood on her DNA side. And she's now like, because so my mom is Russian speaking. My dad is Ukrainian speaking, and my dad is like Ukrainian. And my mom now, okay, anytime you mention anything, she's like, yeah, so if there is any Russian blood in you, speak to your father. No Russia here. And I'm just like, all right. No. Nazar, James, this Nazar is a moderator. My cousin Nazar is also a Nazar, but a different one. We have more than one Nazar in Ukraine. Like 2 at least, at the very least. One is the moderator and one is my cousin on my dad's side. So potentially, is a Russian influence over my DNA. Anyways. Aw. Well, thank you so much, Eat Life. That is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly kind of you. I know, right? I look so professional. And Vasil chose a color of headphones that matches my mic and matches my phone technically if I were to have like no case on it. Oh, thank you, Andre. We have another donation. I picked up my phone and there was a donation. Thank you for another donation to our fundraiser. It's incredibly appreciated. And thank you very, very much. Okay, so 2 vessels with grain should leave Ukraine ports on August 8th. The spokesman of Odessa RMA, Serhiy Bratchuk. The Ukrainian armed forces carried out 3 strikes on a cluster of enemy weapons and equipment and a stronghold in the Kherson district and another stronghold in the Bereslav district. the Southern Operational Command. As a result, the Russian army suffered losses amounting to 24 units of personnel, one T 62 tank, five other armored and automobile vehicles. 8 minutes after the truce began, rockets were fired from the Gaza Strip into Israel. The Times of Israel also writes that after the truce was declared at 11:30 p.m., air raid alarms continued to sound in Israeli cities, and preliminary reports indicate that shells were intercepted by the Iron Dome air defense system over the Sderot and Miftahim. At the same time, an official truce between Israel and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad group went into effect Friday at 11:30 p.m. local time. So that's a little bit about world news. That leave us wishing for better because, well, it looks like there are a lot of conflicts brewing around the world and a lot of conflicts that have been going on escalating. Russian Federation may introduce home voting in pseudo-referendum to collect intelligence. According to the Institute for the Study of War, the Russian occupation authorities are expanding opportunities for direct intimidation of Ukrainian civilians and making any independent oversight of the vote impossible. Hi, Iowa. Allie, yeah, go ahead. What's up? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's so awesome. Congratulations. That's great. Which city? The weather today is humid, horrifying, very New York, and disappointing coming from Charleston, where the weather was hot, but it was dry heat and nice. They arrived yesterday. That's awesome. That's so good. I'm so happy for them. That's amazing. That's great news. Oh my god, they were able to get out of Kharkiv. That's so good. Are they which city are they in? Is there anything we as a community can do to help them out, settle better and stuff like that? If there is anything they need, please let us know. We will try and help them out in the ways that we can. Oh, in Washington State. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That is so freaking cool. I love that. Yeah, for sure. But if there is anything that we can do, please let us know. And hey, uh, welcome to the United States. Okay, so voting at home limits the possibilities of guerrilla attacks. The Kremlin can arrange for different types of voting in different localities depending on expected local support, perceived risk of guerrilla attacks, and bureaucratic capacity, the report said. No, you guys are amazing. I'm just, over here reading the news and giving my 2 cents. You guys are truly amazing. The Ukrainian armed forces hit the Antonievsky and Kakhovsky bridges at night. The same fire control that we have been holding for several days now in this direction has been practiced. It has had its results. It has hit quite seriously both Antonovsky and Kakhovsky bridges. Natalia Homonyuk, head of the Joint Press Center of the Defense Forces in the south of Ukraine, said during the telethon. In addition, the Ukrainian military destroyed several enemy ammunition bases in the south. At the same time, the authorities of Kherson confirmed the strike on the Antonievsky Bridge. It is reported that the roadway was damaged. The supporting elements were not damaged. Really freaking strange. Here we go. Come on. Yeah, so basically what happened is my internet stopped working and then started buffering, and then I tethered my computer to my iPhone hotspot and it was fine. Weird. YouTube's still frozen? Really? Wait. No. Oh, okay. Do you guys see me on YouTube? Do you guys see me on YouTube? Back. Okay, cool. Grumpy said that I'm back on YouTube. Now I do. Okay, cool. I see you and hear you well. Okay, thank you. Awesome. All right, so we're back. The proposal was made by the Democrat Richard Blumenthal and Republican Lindsey Graham. I believe the administration should tell Russia that we are making them a pariah like Iran and Cuba, Blumenthal said. Blumenthal and Graham said they would push Congress to make such a decision regardless of Biden's support, but they hope that the president will do it voluntarily. Yeah, Lindsey Graham has been incredibly supportive of Ukraine. And like one of the things that I have noticed was when I was in South Carolina, there were so many Ukrainian flags everywhere. And everywhere I went, hi, Charles, everywhere I went, and everywhere I talked to someone and they asked me where I was from or something like that, or where I was visiting from, and I'd be like, oh, I'm originally Ukrainian, but I live in New York, everyone would genuinely ask me about like Ukraine, about different things about Ukraine. They would genuinely ask me, like I would mention my TikTok channel, and at the end of the conversation when I was like, I wasn't trying to like push my TikTok channel. I like mentioned it twice, in conversation that was relevant. And then we moved on to a different topic. And then as I was about to leave, they would be like, hey, can I actually have your TikTok channel? Because I'm interested. And so that was a very interesting, positive, and a very sweet like update. And I have asked about the support for Ukraine, and I have asked if there is a huge Ukrainian diaspora there, and they said no, that they just support Ukraine, and that Lindsey Graham does too, and everybody in South Carolina is just very, very, very supportive of Ukraine, and it was a very pleasant surprise. Okay, Russia is highly likely deploying anti-personnel mines to protect and deter freedom of movement along its defensive lines in the Donbass. These mines have the potential to inflict widespread casualties amongst both the military and the local civil population. In Donetsk and Kramatorsk, Russia has highly likely attempted employment of PFM-1 and PFM-1S scatterable anti-personnel mines, commonly called the butterfly mine. The PFM-1 series are deeply controversial indiscriminate weapons. PFM-1S were used to devastating effect in the Soviet-Afghan War, where they allegedly maimed high numbers of children who mistook them for toys. It is highly likely that the Soviet-era stock being used by Russia will have degraded over time and are now highly unreliable and unpredictable. This poses a threat to both the local population and humanitarian mine clearance operations. This is according to British intelligence. And this is crazy that nothing's really crazy about Russia, honestly. What's crazy about Russia? Honestly, it's not crazy that they're using these things. It's not crazy that they're it really isn't crazy. Genuinely, I think that it's pretty normal. They're doing this for them, and I think that it's nothing new and it's nothing shocking, because what really shocks us about Russia's behavior anymore. On August 8th, around 10 o'clock, in the sky over the Odessa region, the forces and means of air defense of the Air Command Pivden destroyed a sea-based cruise missile type Caliber fired from a submarine in the Black Sea, reported the command. So, a cruise missile was destroyed over Odessa region. Yeah. The World Peace Monument was dismantled in the Finnish capital of Helsinki. The sculpture World Peace is an image of people from different continents holding a globe framed by branches in their hands. This monument was given to Finland by the USSR in 1990 after the fall of the Berlin Wall. During the last air raid alarm over Umань, the air defense system worked. The civil infrastructure object was damaged, the head of the Cherkasy Army, Ihor Taburets. An object of civilian infrastructure was damaged as a result of the fall of the remains of a downed missile. 2 people were injured. They were promptly hospitalized. The first 3 German Gepard or Jeopard self-propelled anti-aircraft artillery systems are already in Ukraine. They hit targets at ranges from 100 meters to 4 kilometers. Earlier, it was reported that a total of 30 units of Gepard were to be transferred to Ukraine. It is known about at least 100 servicemen of the Ukrainian army who were trained in Germany to operate these self-propelled anti-aircraft systems. Iran refuted the Russian Federation's use of their satellite for espionage. Iran stated that the Khayyam reconnaissance satellite will be operated only by Iranian specialists on the territory of the country. Tomorrow, August 9th, the reconnaissance satellite will be launched from Baikonur Cosmodrome, and the data exchange between the spacecraft and the ground team will be carried out according to an encrypted algorithm, so other countries will not be able to access the information. First vessel with Ukrainian products has arrived at its final destination in Turkey, Ministry of Infrastructure. The invaders used X-47M Kinjal air-launched hypersonic missiles on military facilities in the Vinnytsia region on August 7th, the Air Force Command said. China ends military drills near Taiwan. Will build a plant for the production of Bayraktar strike. Oh, Turkish company Baykar will build a plant for production of Bayraktar strike drones in Ukraine. Baykar has already created a company in Ukraine, acquired a land plot for the construction of a plant, and developed its project, Ukrainian ambassador to Turkey, Vasil Bodnar, said. He added that Ukrainian manufacturers of engines, wheels, and spare parts will be involved in the production of Bayraktar in Ukraine, which is kind of cool. And that's when Russia requested to have a plant for the production of Bayraktars in Russia, and Turkey instead put it in Ukraine, which is maybe one of the only good moves from Turkey after. Well, that's what I was saying, is that, they really, really kind of play a very double-sided game. They try to have their cake and eat it too. Also, guys, I hate to do this again, but we were on the road again today for like 6 or 7 hours. And I promise I will get better at being on these news lives earlier and now that I'm back home, but I am looking at it and there's 50 updates left, and I do not think I have it in me to do another 50 updates. I think that the most important stuff for today is that there was a big boom in Crimea on the Russian airbase. And the other big news is that the Baykar is not going to have a plant in Russia. It's going to have a plant in Ukraine, which is amazing because they will be producing Bayraktars. Yeah. I think that's about it. I'm also going to take the headphones off for now because, gosh, I need rest from everything and everyone. I hope you guys hear me still. I don't know if it switched to I don't know if it switched to regular microphone, but I hope it did. Also, my internet is acting up. And yeah, so. Oh, awesome. Oh, what do you mean my camera wasn't? Oh,